Welcome to the Whimsical YapCast. We're your host, Lysa.
And I'm Joy.
And this is the show where we yap about things that make us happy.
Woo!
And today, we're not going to get into today's topic just quite yet, because today is, as of filming this, it is Pokemon Day, and we did get information, and we are going to talk about that first. So.
Yeah, we do be. Do you wanna go first? If you want to.
Sure. There was a lot of like mobile game stuff in the beginning. First of all,
so much.
So I mean I vaguely play Pokemon Go. Just because like there's nothing else to do when you're walking around town. It's Pokemon Go.
I get it.
And Unova stuff has already been coming out, so that's cool. Whatever. Yeah. I don't really play Cafe Remix. I don't really.
Is that the like little game that's like
it's
one with,
it's
like,
on Switch and mobile, and it's like touch screen, and you gotta like connect the Pokemon. And then
I'm not cool with that.
It's weird. It's fun.
I don't want Candy Crush for Pokemon.
Yeah, it's cute, but it's like. I mean, I got bored of it real fast. I have ADHD though, so that's not surprising.
Me too.
The TCG Pocket is releasing new packs, and they're Arceus themed.
Oh yeah, I saw that they're doing the mega ones too.
Yes, I think that's just regular, like not pocket, but like actual cards. They're doing new mega evolutions in preparation for ZA, which we'll get to in a sec. I do sometimes play Pokemon Sleep. I am very excited for Cresselia Darkrai coming to Pokemon Sleep.
I love it.
I will be.
I mean, we were talking about in our last episode how much you love Darkrai anyway, so.
Yep. I will be attempting to get that boy. So.
Does Pokemon Sleep have shinies in it?
Yes, it does. My first shiny in it was a Gulpin. A little blue Gulpin.
A Gulpin! Love Gulpin. My nose is itchy.
Oh my gosh. You okay?
Oh, good. Okay. I don't have nails right now. Side topic. I don't have nails right now. I'm gonna show it off to everybody. Let me get my hands out of my flippers. I don't have nails right now.
That's the shortest I've ever seen your nails.
I know, right? Crazy. But the thing is my nails have been growing weird recently. So like this one, my thumbnail specifically has been growing like a corkscrew, which is weird. Like it goes like this. Which is so weird. So I cut them all off. This one I broke whenever I was in first grade. Like this finger, not the nail. This finger. I broke this finger playing softball in first grade. So that nail never grew properly anyway. And some of my nails have been like the C curve of them have been so extreme recently that I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So I cut them all off, and I'm getting into press-on nails.
Yes, let's go.
And so my first pair will be here next week. So the next time you see me, next episode, I'll have new nails, and I get to show everyone.
I'm so excited to see them.
Also, this is my birthday present. I'm a shark.
I love your shark.
I'm a shark. I'm a shark. Thanks.
Should we get into the actual juicy news of Pokemon Day?
I want to talk about Pokemon Concierge, just because I was so into. I gotta take off my shark. I'm too hot.
Yeah, it looks very.
I want to talk about Pokemon Concierge just because I'm so like. It reminds me a lot of the Rilakkuma show, and I loved the Rilakkuma show. I loved it so much. I have no idea if it's the same people doing it, but I loved the Rilakkuma show. If you guys haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. Probably still. I don't know if it is actually. But Pokemon Concierge, I'm super excited about it just because this is the kind of Pokemon content that I want to consume. It's just cozy, like little Pokemon vibes. So I'm like super excited about it. Probably not a lot of people are, but I'm personally super excited.
It like the animation style of it looks so cute. The little like Shinx thing that they showed of like how they do the animation.
God.
That was so cute.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
I loved it.
It's so super cute.
Loved it.
Was there anything else
and
besides that?
I don't think so. I think it was just like a lot of mobile game stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mobile game TCG.
And then the big bad boy.
Oh my gosh. So
the big boy.
I will say I'm a believer that I think Kalos is my favorite. My favorite. And so I'm really, really excited to get into this one, to get into ZA. They showed off the starters. I already know I'm choosing Tepig. I'm a fire starter girly.
I love Chikorita, and it's such like it's like everybody hates Chikorita, and I don't know why. I love her. I think she's so cute. I don't care if she's impractical. I love her.
She's adorable. She's adorable. I think it's interesting that they chose 2 Johto starters for this one.
Yeah.
Like, RC has had a good across the board because it was Cyndaquil, Rowlet, and it was Oshawott. Yeah, because Samurott was a dark type. Yeah, so there's like decent like spread. This one's just like 2 Johtos and a Unova.
So. 2 Johtos and a Unova.
One of my friends pointed out that the player character looks like they could be a descendant of Sycamore.
I was thinking that too. I was thinking that too, dude.
I love that. Professor Hot Dad, let's go.
Professor Hot Dad.
It's what I don't make the rules. What he is. First of all, I am so over the moon that AZ and Floette are running the hotel together.
Yeah.
Like,
I love that.
I remember I finished that game while I was like visiting my grandma for a weekend. So I was at my grandma's house at like 2 a.m. playing Pokemon X, and I beat it, and I remember crying because Floette came back to AZ.
Yeah.
I was just bawling. So I love seeing them being happy and running a hotel together. Let's go.
Yeah. Whenever I played X for the first time with Nikki on stream, I remember being like kind of like feeling a lot of feels towards this man, and then at the end I was like so tired of playing. I just was like, okay, yeah, anyway, keep whatever, I don't care that you came back. And then whatever. Like after I ended stream, like after like a while, I was like, that was really sweet that he came back.
He came back.
So
good. He came back. I love that. Also, I don't know, Jet's assistant Vinny has the Lysander sideburns.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Also, what I was thinking is that I love the fact that if I had a nickel for every time some very powerful rich lady with kind of platinum blonde hair and had an assistant / bodyguard / secretary named Vinny, I would have 2 nickels. And it's just because the fact that my new D&D character with Z is a blonde powerful princess woman who is in charge of so much, and her secretary bodyguard prince character Vincent right next to her.
Let's go. I love
was like crying.
That's amazing.
This morning. It was amazing. I did.
It.
You also predicted the fact that we're like you're rebuilding the city. Like we talked about this in the first episode.
I'm
like
so
you
excited.
talked about this.
I'm so excited. The wild areas. The wild areas. They look so cool.
To me, they feel like Last of Us to me. Like like that kind of like or like did you ever watch Legend of Korra?
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's okay. No. In Legend of Korra, near like the end of the series, the spirit realm like starts to come into the real world, or not the real world, the like material plane. And so it starts becoming like all like fantasy, and like big trees start growing in the middle of a city, and that's what it felt like to me, is the end of Legend of Korra.
Amazing. I think the wild area idea is really cool. I liked seeing in the trailer when they were catching the Bunnelby, and it had the like cafe that was like the overgrown cafe behind it. I liked that.
Yeah, cool. That's my favorite aesthetic ever, dude.
The battling mechanic.
Dude, okay, I want to talk so much about this battling mechanic.
I think it looks like how they portray battles in the show.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I thought it reminded me a lot of, I think like the developers must have been playing a lot of Final Fantasy at the time, because it reminds me a lot of the way that Final Fantasy 13-2 specifically does their battle system, is that it's very still traditional RPG, but there's still like that ability to like move around slightly in Final Fantasy 13-2. I never finished it, so I can't tell you exactly what like what the mechanics do in the middle of the game or anything, but that's how they were at the beginning of the game. So I'm just going to assume that that's how they were through the rest of it. But yeah,
I think it's so cool that you can actually like start dodging attacks now, like that when the first one they showed with the rollout and the Totodile getting out of the way. I was like, mind blown. Absolutely blew my mind. So good. I'm just so excited.
Me too.
Should we?
Because like I didn't play Arceus, but I'm excited to play. I'm excited. I don't know. I'm excited to play more Pokemon. I'm just excited to get more Pokemon into my life.
I am playing through Arceus right now. I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a fun time with it.
Yeah.
I think it's cute and fun. Like, I get why it's not for some people. It's not for Dayton, and I understand why it's not for Dayton, but it's for me.
Do you think there'd be a game for me?
Maybe. I really like the fact, because my favorite thing about it is that you can run around and you can catch the Pokemon without having to battle them, without having to like initiate with them. You can just like run up and throw a Pokeball.
I'm into that.
I love it.
I'm into that.
I love it. It's one of my favorite things.
That sounds like a good time.
Although I don't like that the Pokemon can fight me, specifically. I have had so many Buweasels come for me. I'm done. No, thank you.
You have beef with Buweasel now?
I have Buweasel beef. It's they also there's Buweef. There is a task like your side quests that is find a Buweasel that is at least 2 feet 8 inches tall, and my tallest Buweasel is 2 feet 7 inches, and I have almost perfected that goddamn Pokedex entry for that guy. Oh, where's this fabled tall Buweasel?
No, he's gone. I took him, actually. He's mine. He's my Buweasel.
Can I borrow him so I can give him to this guy real quick?
Yeah, no, you can borrow him. It's okay. Just make sure you give him back.
I'll try. I don't know if he gives it back, so... I know you have to give it to him, and then I know the Buweasels stand next to each other. So,
oh, cute.
Yeah, it's really adorable.
I love that. You ready to get into this?
Into the topic.
Let's just go. Let's just get into it, man.
Today's topic is one of my favorite things. Has been for the past 2 years, and that is professional wrestling, baby. I'm gonna disclaimer.
I like how you did like jazz hands.
Yeah. I'm gonna disclaimer right up at the front here. I don't watch a lot of WWE. I watch the PLEs sometimes, and that is about it. I'll watch a WrestleMania, and I will keep up with what is happening in the Royal Rumble, and that is about it. Besides that, I am an AEW girly, if you couldn't tell by all my dang AEW merch I got going around. I also
let's take a minute to see what's in your background now, because everything has changed, you know.
So let me give you the new tour. I've had this poster for a while. This poster is for an indie show that gets put on by one of the AEW wrestlers. It is called Mystery Wrestling. The whole premise of Mystery Wrestling is that really the only things you know before going in are the guest commentator and the like big celebrity name that's gonna be in the show. You don't know what the matches are.
Gotcha.
You don't know who will be participating in the matches, although it is safe to say that the wrestlers Cecil Nix and Psycho Mike will probably be there.
Gotcha.
But this one is from specifically Mystery Wrestling 8 because for that one, the commentator was my camera. Okay. The commentator was my favorite wrestler, Chuck Taylor. I'm wearing his shirt today because I love him so much. He's my favorite. He was the guest commentator, and it was very funny. I really enjoy Chuck Taylor on commentary. I think he's hilarious. But this one, it's also signed by all of the performers that were there. So
that's nice.
Chuck Taylor. Evil Uno is the guy that puts it on every year or every month. Psycho Mike signed it. It's got like Hallowicked, Frightmare. For people who know indie wrestling, they'll know those names probably. Then
I'm like, wow, these are some pretty sick names. Like, Lysa sent me a video. I don't know if we talked about this yet, but Lysa sent me a video stating like that wrestling names and drag names are like almost exactly the same. So I'm like, these sound like drag queens to me.
Yeah, pretty much. I also have the AEW DC collab comic. It is specifically
sick.
They did a couple pages for each of the wrestlers portrayed in here for like a fake origin story for all of them.
Oh, cool.
And the wrestlers in there are Timeless Tony Storm, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, Orange Cassidy, Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, and Darby Allin.
Cool.
Boys in there. We got a signed we got a signed Sting poster. Sting is a like legend in wrestling. Had been wrestling since like the 80s, and he retired March of last year.
Not the singer Sting, I'm assuming.
He actually came before the singer Sting, but he liked the singer. Like they had a thing where he had the name first. The singer Sting was trying to do something, I don't remember, but he ended up having to get royalties from the singer, but he liked the singer so much that he just asked for $1 every year. So
nice.
Like Sting the wrestler, great guy apparently, just absolutely sweet.
That sounds amazing.
And he only retired last year, March, and it was really sweet because his two like grown adult sons were there with him, and they dressed up because he has like very iconic eras. Like he wears face paint. And that's what this poster is too, is it's like the wolves howling at the moon, but they're all different eras of Sting.
Oh, nice.
So
like
his sons,
like those like edgy shirts, you know.
Yeah. The Walmart ones.
Gotcha.
So his sons dressed up as different eras of Sting and did his entrance with him. He was tag teaming with Darby Allin, and it was really sweet. It was beautiful. He was known for doing some like hardcore stuff. So even though he's in his 70s at this point, I think 60s or 70s, he was doing hardcore stuff.
Crazy.
With Darby Allin. It was insane.
That's how I want to be.
It was an awesome match. It was so cool, and I am so glad that I got to see it. We also have it's not signed or anything, but we have an inflatable Sting bat because he used to come to the ring with a baseball bat.
Nice.
We have signed Will Ospreay poster that Dayton and I got when we went to AEW Dynasty 2024, the first one. Whatever, the first one was last year, so it was 2024. We went to that and happened to be one of the first people in line, so we got to the merch table, and we got number 37 out of 100 of signed Will Ospreay poster.
That sounds amazing.
Wall of figures here. I'll send a picture so that we can have a picture up. But top row left to right, and then bottom row left to right is we got Sting. We got Danhausen, who was the guy that made me actually like start watching wrestling.
Yeah.
We have the Devil MJF and regular MJF. This is Kenny Omega. It was really funny because this year at Awesome Games Done Quick, they were doing a Pokemon Alpha Sapphire Omega Ruby race for the speed run.
Yeah.
And the one of the incentives was named the Latios and Latios. And the one that you get in Omega Ruby, they named Kenny Omega.
That's so funny.
Very happy about it. We have my boy Chuck Taylor. We have my other boy Orange Cassidy.
The other boy.
My girl Chris Statlander.
The lady.
We have another one of my boys, Trent Beretta.
Another boy.
And then we have one of my newer boys, Kyle O'Reilly.
Newer boy.
Love Kyle O'Reilly. He's very much. He came back from a multi-year-long injury last year, I think, and instantly captured my heart. That guy's great. So,
I definitely thought you were gonna say Kylo Ren. I definitely thought.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I get it. Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly. Love that guy. But yeah, that's the setup we got going with today.
Amazing. Love
we're
it.
Missing John Moxley. I don't know where he went, but we have a John Moxley figure.
He's gone. He left the building, actually.
He's out of here. I don't That guy's crazy, so he's the current world champion in AEW. He's insane.
I love the fact that you changed your whole background just for this episode. Love it so much.
Yeah. I'm nothing if not extra.
Yeah. It really just, it sets in stone how much you like enjoy this and how much it's like a good hobby and pastime for you, you know. Also, Lysa gave me homework.
I did
for this thing. But I want to talk about a little bit about the homework that I did because I want to state how funny it is to watch some of these matches in 2x speed. Because I had to get through it. I had to get through it, like, you know, this morning, because I, you know, am busy and had stuff to do. But so I was getting through it this morning, after watching, the Pokemon Day stuff. And so I was watching them in 2x speed, and oh my gosh, all of the like Orange Cassidy stuff where he would like, you know, bounce off of things and then jump over with his hands in his pocket and then like roll over stuff. That was so funny 2x speed. If you guys haven't seen those videos in 2x speed, it's so good. Oh my God. I was like crying laughing.
It's even better because Orange Cassidy's entire thing is that he does not care and he goes as slow as possible. That's so funny. Oh my God.
And 2x speed is just so good.
Also, I know all of the matches I gave you were indie matches, because I wanted you to see the ridiculousness that independent wrestling can achieve that you don't really get on TV. I mean, I was Boomer Hatfield
and appalled
Boomer Hatfield being a baseball gimmick guy and then them playing baseball in the ring was so good.
I was watching it with Lawrence and I was like, they're playing baseball now. And he goes, what? And I was like, they're playing baseball now.
Yep. Yeah, that was good. I'm also glad you got to see Stat's alien gimmick because she doesn't do the alien anymore. She's just like,
oh, really?
Cool now. All of her stuff is like weirdly kind of based on the Bee Gees music. Her finisher, they changed the name of her finisher from The Big Bang Theory to Saturday Night Fever. Nice. Or Wednesday Night Fever if she's performing on Dynamite. And she doesn't use the 450 splash anymore. They used to call it the Area 451. I thought it was so fun.
Love it.
She also does not do the mind control anymore. I loved the mind control. Mind controlling Orange Cassidy to try. So good.
That whole like mind controlling thing is another funny thing that is so funny in 2 times speed, because literally she's just like,
I bet.
like going freaking ham. It's so funny. I also realized some of them like not in 2 times speed, so it's okay. I was just, some of them were in 2 times speed. Most of the full matches were in 2 times speed. But some of like the clips and stuff, like the one with the grenade. I don't remember which one that was, but there was one with like a fake grenade, like an imaginary grenade. It was so funny. And then I went back and watched it in 2 times speed because I wanted to see them little dance around at the end.
Yes. I'm realizing now I didn't give you any full Chuck Taylor matches at all. I just gave you clips of Chuck Taylor.
Yeah.
Which is so, I don't know how that happened. I think it's because like all of the matches I like of him were like on full episodes of AEW Dark, which was their YouTube show for a while, or like things like that. He back in Chikara was an independent promotion based out of Pennsylvania that was it was geared towards like a younger audience that would appreciate the comedy and stuff. And he was kind of a mainstay in Chikara. But he did that grenade spot like all the time. That was one of his big things. That the match where where he tries to throw the guy through the painting was also a Chikara thing.
Oh yeah.
The guy that he tried to throw through.
It was really funny.
The guy he tried to throw, his entire gimmick at that time was that he was like a marching band leader, like a drum major for a marching band.
Okay. Okay. That's a choice.
All right, yeah, it was Archibald Peck, and then he had a gimmick for a while that was he got really into martial arts, whatever.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, I don't remember exactly what the name is, but it was something stupid like Kung Pao Archie. I don't even remember. It was so silly. Because he came out during a match as that, and then he got like eliminated from the match and left, and when he came back he was the drum major again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like is a whole thing. But yeah, I also the clip of the grenade that I sent you, they're fighting the Colony, and the Colony was a group of guys who all wore the same like general outfits because they were ants. So that was Worker Ant, Soldier Ant, and Fire Ant that were there.
Nice.
Soldier Ant was played by a guy who actually recently went through some controversy. Ronda Rousey accused him of sexually harassing her. And I don't know what happened. I'm not here to say what happened, but I do know WWE fired him because of all the bad press. Because they said they did an internal thing, and that they didn't find any evidence or anything like that. Still, he got fired.
Gotcha.
That is what I remember hearing. I could be wrong, but that's what I remember hearing. I know he got fired. But that was Drew Gulak was his name, and he was very, very big before that happened. At least I think he was. Like I said, I don't really watch WWE. And Fire Ant is played by Orange Cassidy.
Oh.
So Orange Cassidy was Fire Ant for the longest time. There was a rumor going around that apparently the guy who ran the promotion, promotion is the word for wrestling companies in wrestling land.
Gotcha.
The guy that ran the promotion apparently didn't like guys who were more attractive than him, so he would put masks on them and then let them wrestle.
Oh.
So
okay.
That's the rumor. Okay. That's the rumor. I don't know how real that is, but that's the rumor.
That's some Chikara, like JYP K-pop kind of situation. Like I feel like JYP does that to like his like boy groups, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. Chikara did go down. There was during the Me Too movement, there was a big push in the wrestling industry too. For that, and Chikara ended up going down because of that. Because they were like, yeah, he employed a lot of guys who were horrible. And so the entire thing went down apparently. But nice. I mean, the shows, you can still find some of the matches and stuff on YouTube. The shows were so funny. Well, I had a friend who downloaded their entire like pay-per-view library, and he came over and we watched one, and it was really good.
Wow.
Chuck Taylor was a part of a group during that time called FIST, Team FIST, and FIST stands for Friends in Similar Tights. So
is this man always friends? Is this man like always just friends with people?
Yeah, he's always got friends. He was
he's just a dude, a bro.
He was in the Indies. He was in a tag team with Kenny Omega. And they were the men of low moral fiber because they bonded over wanting to burn down orphanages.
Icon. Good for him, I guess.
Like, I think it's admirable that at least they were like, listen, we know we're trash. We know we're bad humans. That's why we're the men of low moral fiber. Like, gotta hand it to them, you know? At least they know.
Love it.
So, yeah. There's that. I know I sent you one of the times that Chuck Taylor won the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla World Championship.
Yeah.
The belt has since been retired because I believe the promotion, like, the guy stopped it to take care of his wife who had like a very bad illness. I think it was cancer. I don't remember. I don't know what's exactly happening there, but I know that the guy isn't really putting on shows anymore. But Chuck Taylor had that belt twice. He won it off of the guy I sent you, Zack Sabre Jr., who is now really known for, he's like the top guy of New Japan Pro Wrestling right now.
Oh,
like,
okay. Yeah.
He's like big. And then Chuck Taylor lost it and then got it back from a guy who is now in AEW called Ricochet.
Oh.
Ricochet is really cool. I enjoy him a lot. He's in a beef right now with Swerve Strickland, and he attacked that man with some scissors during a show at one point. It was crazy.
Oh my god.
It was awesome to watch. It was awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah. Wrestling is wild. If it's anything. If there's one adjective to describe it, it is wild.
Whenever I was watching things, that was what I was thinking, is that it was like, this is a wild time. I get that it's for some people. I don't think that it's for me, but I'm glad that it's for some people. Like, I'm glad that it's for you.
It captures my attention really well. Like, because things are so fast paced and like moving through and like you get a new story every month, it's really fun. And the new stories are continuations of the old stories, so it's all the same characters you know and love doing new different things. I love it. And it's awesome. It's so fun. We got like, there's a feud. I guess it's not currently happening. There's a feud that was happening at the end of last year. That was Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley, which was a feud we had the year before, too. And it's one that I think really works, because you have Jon Moxley, who is very, like, you have to work for it. You have to work so hard, and you have to be the best you can, because if you don't have that, then what do you have? Kind of guy.
Yeah.
And then you have Orange Cassidy, who literally with his international championship title reign, he was doing a match at least once a week, every week, and defending his title. But his entire demeanor was, I don't want to do this. I am so tired. I will defend this thing, but, like, please don't make me, you know?
I really don't want to. I don't want to work, my guy.
I would like to not. And I think it's really interesting to see that juxtaposition. I know I sent you the promo that he did before that, the I'm Orange Cassidy and I do not have a catchphrase. That match, I didn't send you the match because it's on pay-per-view, and so you have to, like, I'd have to, like, screen grab it and everything. It'd be a lot involved.
Yeah,
but
that sounds
it's
like
also
a lot.
It's also a very bloody match, and I know you're not interested in that at all.
Yeah, no. I'm okay, actually.
Yeah. No, Jon Moxley goes very hardcore all the time. For, like, the first few months that we were watching wrestling, if Jon Moxley was involved in a match, you would look at him and the man would start bleeding, so...
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's insane.
Violent.
Oh yeah, his, one of his things is unsanctioned violence. He's got shirts that say death jutsu, like, he's currently the leader of a group called the Death Riders right now. Like, he's...
You know what? Iconic, man. Is it a wrestling group or is it bad guys from the X-Men?
Exactly. Keeps you guessing. But yeah, he's crazy. He's crazy. And every single one of his matches, the reason I bring that up at all is because that specific match, not Full Gear, All Out 2023 main event, that match, like, changed my brain chemistry. Like, absolutely altered me as a person. Because, like, in the end, Orange Cassidy ended up losing and dropping the belt to Jon Moxley. There was stuff that came after that absolutely, like, wrecked the whole situation. Jon Moxley got a concussion that was really bad. Had to lose the match because he got it during the match. Had to, like, give up the match. And then the guy he was going against, who was about to go to WWE with his brother, ended up only having it a couple months and then dropping it back to Orange Cassidy. So it kind of was all messed up, but it was crazy because the end of that, they were, like, very not on the side of best friends. That was back when they were Blackpool Combat. Bro, you good? You good?
I was hoping you wouldn't notice. I just hit myself with my mic.
I heard thunk and then it was the cutest little it was adorable.
You can continue. I'm so sorry.
So there was the Blackpool Combat Club at that point. And they absolutely did not like best friends because they were like, no, we're serious, and you guys have this opportunity, and you're being so silly about it. And they're like, we're just relying on the power of friendship, man. I don't know what you're talking about. But that match really, like, gave them some, not like gave them some legitimacy because they were already, like, legitimate. People were wanting best friends to have the tag team titles, which never happened, and I'm still very bitter about. But, like, after the match, instead of Jon Moxley going and, like, ridiculing him and beating him up or anything like that, he picked up Orange Cassidy, because Orange Cassidy's finisher is just a big old Superman punch. He, like, jumps up in the air and punches you. And it's called the Orange Punch.
Those.
Yeah, Orange Punch.
I saw some of those.
Yeah. he had to hit Jon Moxley like 5 times in the end of the match. And then Jon Moxley ended up hitting him with the Death Rider and pinning him. But he had to keep hitting him. And every time Jon Moxley got him down, he just got back up and kept going and kept going. And so in the end, when they took the belt from him, and Jon Moxley, like, begrudgingly shakes his hand, grabs the rest of the Blackpool Combat Club, and leaves. Just, like, no words, nothing, shook his hand, left.
Just leaves?
Yeah. And that left Orange Cassidy in the middle of the ring, dripping blood, just, like, looks like he's about to cry kind of thing. And then the entire stadium starts chanting, "Thank you, Orange." And the best friends all come out, and they all look sad, but they hug him, and they do the, like, thumbs up pose anyway. And everybody's just chanting, "Thank you, Orange." And it was just, like, one of the most beautiful things of, like, yeah, he lost, but he really proved himself as, like, why he deserves, like, such accolades and stuff. Yeah. I love Orange Cassidy. That because there was that match,
really sweet.
And then oh my god, it was so good. There was that match, and then last year, Forbidden Door, which is the AEW hosted AEW New Japan crossover show. Zack Sabre Jr. and Orange Cassidy fought, and it really was a, like, for people who don't think that Orange Cassidy's a good wrestler, show them this. Because he wrestles a very specific style. And is very lazy. But Zack Sabre Jr. wrestles in the style we call technical wrestling. It's a lot of, like, grapples. Like, I'm going to hold you down. I'm going to, like, make you tap out instead of try and pin you. Like, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Not a lot of, like, hitting. Just a lot of, like, grab you and try and make you submit. And Orange Cassidy went, like, blow for blow with him on it. Like, absolutely busted out all of his, like, legitimate wrestling stuff. Like, absolutely. And it was really cool to be like, oh, he's not wrestling in his usual style, and he's still, like, toe-to-toe with him. Like, absolutely keeping up. With this guy who is labeled as probably one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. Keeping up.
Yeah.
And it was just, it's beautiful to see. I've got a lot of love for Orange Cassidy. I've been talking a lot. Do you have anything else you wanted to say?
I was just, the only thing that, like, I was thinking about is, like, I want you to explain to me, and I think you kind of just explained it anyway. But why him hands in pocket? Why? Why he wear jeans? Why he wear jeans?
First of all, I think he just wears jeans just cause. I have no clue. The jeans have also undergone transformation because when he was like just becoming Orange Cassidy on the Indies, he didn't wear jeans. He wore tights. That's what they call the, like, pants. So the pants are tights. Yeah. The shorts are trunks. Gotcha. So he wore tights that were green and in orange letters said Orange Cassidy down each leg.
Oh.
It looked so bad. He had this long hair too, like long, like scene kid, emo kid hair. So stupid. I'll send you pictures because it looked bad.
Please no. And then
that was also his
like right here. Well, look at these terrible pictures, guys.
Like, it's so funny because, like, looking at them now, it's like, oh, he's a baby. Then this man is like 40. But looking at these, like, pictures of him in his 20s, I'm like, oh, he's a baby, little baby. He's a baby. Man. When he's probably,
that's how I feel about Taman.
He's probably like. Exactly. It's like he's probably like a couple years younger than me in those pictures. But it was like, oh, he's just a child. Like, he was also, I believe at that time, that was around the JC Ryder era. That was another one of his ring names was JC Ryder. I hate it, personally.
What a
JC
name.
is his, like, JC is his actual real life initials. So, like, I thought that was silly.
Dude.
But then he started wearing the shades more. I think because of, like, the JC Ryder stuff, he started wearing the shades more. And then he started wearing tights under jeans that had most of the leg ripped out on the front. And then he just kind of switched over to just jeans. And I don't know how we got there, but he wears jeans, and good for him, you know.
I don't know.
Nobody else is doing it.
Jeans.
I think, personally, I think they're like pajama jeans, where they're like an actual comfortable material that's not denim, but they could just be denim, and he could be insane. I don't know.
Yeah. Imagine the chafing on that, man. Like, literally. Like, I
also another thing that makes me think they're not quite denim is because last year for Valentine's Day, he was in a street fight. And when he put his hands in his pockets, the guy took his hands out of his pockets and then grabbed his pockets and ripped them off of his jeans.
Oh.
Just like... And it ripped... Not just... Like, it rips, like, the front of his jeans. So, yeah. That was weird.
Crazy.
That was also... He had... there was like weapons because it was a street fight. In street fights, you get to use weapons, and you're not disqualified for smacking somebody with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
But since it was Valentine's Day, they were in like chocolate boxes and stuff, and one of them was right after Chuck Taylor got injured, and retired. But he pulls out a chocolate box that says to OC from Chuck E. T. And when he opened it up, it was full of thumbtacks.
Oh, how nice. What a wonderful gift. Thank you.
Everyone loved it. It was great. It was beautiful. But he sticks his hand in his pockets because I don't think I've ever seen anybody else do this. I think it might be something he came up with, but don't quote me on that. He is wrestling a style called sloth style. Because it's lazy, and that's who he is.
he's just chilling. He's just a guy.
I feel like it's interesting because I feel like his evolution too has been to go from like, yeah, I'm lazy and I don't care, to instead being I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired. And that's like his entire thing.
I love that. Like, good for him.
So tired.
I also wrote down that I wanted to talk about Chris, I think is her name. Is it Chris?
Chris Statlander?
Chris. Yeah, Chris Statlander. That's her name. I wanted to
talk
call
about
her
Stat
because like Stat. That's so funny.
I love Stat.
I love that. But I like wrote down some like that I wanted to like talk about her and like kind of like get to know her more, because like you sent me like some videos, but like they I don't know, I feel like the ones that you sent me of like Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy, I could get like their kind of like vibes from but Chris Statlander's, like, I couldn't figure out her energy. She had some energy, and I was trying to figure it out, and it wasn't working out. So
I get that, yeah. So Stat, she used to be an alien. She's not anymore. She kind of like, her kind of thing is this, that she's really tough. She is genuinely one of the strongest women in AEW. She's she doesn't talk a lot, really. She doesn't like do a lot of promos.
Yeah,
but she does seem really sweet from the stuff that I have seen her of her talking and stuff.
Yeah,
she has a lizard named Boots, and I want to like hang out with Boots. Cute. Like, yeah, she's really interesting.
That's
she's
really
cool.
sweet.
Like, as a person, like, her Instagram is also like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. I've got a big old crush on Chris Statlander, so
no way.
I love her.
What?
She is my favorite female wrestler. I love her so much. She's amazing. She's very strong. Like, will pick up. She did a couple promos where she had the interviewer on her shoulders and was doing squats while the interviewer was just sitting there like, okay, can you tell me how you feel about this? And then she like brings the mic over so it's like under her while she's like squatting.
That's so funny.
Really strong. She used to be an alien. I never saw her while she was an alien. Like, I didn't start watching wrestling until after she dropped the alien thing. The first match I got to see her was, so she has 2 blown out knees at this point. The things that I sent you, I think, were before her knee injuries.
One of them, she was in a claw machine. And she like busted out of a claw machine, and she had a knee injury in that one. So yes, I can comprehend.
That was So that was post the first one. That one was just a torn ACL and like bruised meniscus, I think. The other one was she absolutely like fully split her ACL and meniscus.
Oh my god!
And they had to like repair it. So now she has 2 mechanical knee braces. And is still doing stuff like that.
Crazy.
First match I saw of her was her return at 2023 Double or Nothing. So AEW has themed pay-per-views, and it's the same ones every year. So Double or Nothing is the one. It's in May, and it's usually in Vegas because it's casino themed. But that one, there was a girl who is now in WWE. Her name's Jade Cargill. She's buff, strong, genuine. Like, she has white blonde hair, and genuinely, I think she dyed her hair that color so that if somebody was to cast an X-Men movie, they would think of her as Storm and try and cast her as Storm. Like, I genuinely think that's why she did that, because she's like buff, like visibly buff,
beefy, beefed.
Yeah. But she had a streak for the belt that she had, the TBS championship. And another girl had challenged her because she had an open challenge for it. So another girl had challenged her for that specific show. The other girl lost. Jade Cargill retained the belt. The other girl being Taya Valkyrie. She got really, really big from the indies lucha scene. And she's a luchadora from Canada. And she's currently in a faction with a woman named Deonna Purrazzo. And they're basically just like mob wives. But like,
oh, cute.
They run the mob.
Cute.
Yeah, it's fun. But after Taya Valkyrie lost, Jade Cargill was like, anytime, anywhere, anybody want to come face me, they can. So Chris Statlander showed up back from injury and absolutely destroyed Jade Cargill and took the belt. And Jade Cargill's last match in AEW was against Chris Statlander for that belt, so that in wrestling there are terms. I should have given you a wrestling dictionary before we started this.
No, it's okay. I'm like good with learning. It's okay.
Yeah. So there's if it's in storyline, that means it's in kayfabe. And if it's out of storyline, that means it's shoot. So it's like for shoot means it's for real, but in kayfabe means it's in story.
Gotcha.
So they had that match because in kayfabe, Jade Cargill was like, well, you beat me after I had already like just finished a different match, so I don't know if you really for real beat me, so we have to fight again so that you can
for real
prove to me that you deserve the belt. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I gotta say, personal opinion, I think Chris Statlander can make anybody look good in a match. She has taken wrestlers that I'm like, I don't really find your work that appealing. Like, I understand why Mercedes Moné has 4 belts right now. She is a superstar. She is amazing. I'm not a personal fan of her wrestling. Her her 2 matches with Chris Statlander, amazing. Both bangers, like absolutely so good. Because Chris Statlander is like a menace of like, she's like Orange Cassidy in that like you put her down, but she keeps getting up, and you don't understand how to keep her down. And
that's what I like seeing. The both of them like together in the like stuff that you sent me. I got a sneeze, bro. Oh, it's coming to me. Oh God. Okay, now it's gone. Okay. But I like seeing the both of them together. That it seems like, it's, to put it in like K-pop terms, it's like kind of like, I don't know, like if you put 2 people who have like they have huge stage presences, which I can tell from them, which is really cool to see, you know, because I get it. Lots of theater kids and lots of ex-theater kids are so into wrestling, and I can understand why now after like watching these things. Personally, I'm an ex-theater kid that's not about it, but you know, that's okay. But like I can tell that what their stage presences are, and I can tell like that like they enjoy what they do very clearly, since the fact that Chris Statlander has both of her knees no longer existing, and she's just like continuing to do it. Like it's nice to see that people enjoy what they do in show business specifically. Like, that's what I love so much about, I'm bring it back to K-pop. That's what I love so much about Taemin and, like, watching him perform and stuff. Because I can tell that he genuinely, like, he loves it. And you can tell that he, like, he wants to be a performer. Unlike, I'm gonna throw Blackpink under the bus. Unlike Blackpink, who, in my opinion, I don't think want to be performers. Some of them, I don't think that they want to be performers at all. But hot take. Anyway.
No, I totally get it. And you want to know what I think is crazy too about Chris Statlander? Not only is she only a year older than me, but
that's
also
insane to me.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Her and MJF both are only about a year older than me. Oh
my God.
Which is crazy because MJF has already had the longest tenure as AEW World Champion. And he's only a year older than me.
How?
Yeah.
When did you start, my guy?
Yeah, it was to be fair, outing myself as an Instagram creep here. It seems like he started doing wrestling like when he was still in high school. Like,
gotcha,
I know
gotcha.
that the wrestling school, because Chris Statlander, MJF, and another guy, Max Caster, all went to the same wrestling school together and, like, graduated at the same time. Graduated? I don't know if they do graduations in wrestling school.
This is so much like K-pop.
Yeah. No, it really is. It's show
crazy.
business. That's one of the
we
things
should do a K-pop episode.
We should. One of the things that, like, Dayton and I always talk about is, it's just theater. Like, wrestling it's just theater. Dayton specifically
just
says
theater, but bloody.
It's theater for the kids who are too buff to do Shakespeare.
Yeah, you're right. That's so correct. The kids who didn't want to do musicals, like,
which is funny because MJF is an amazing singer and he has like AEW is Tony nominated. So
is that the music thing that you sent me with like the ladies in the back who could kind of dance?
Yes. Okay. It's Tony nominated.
I remember that.
It's crazy to me. Cool. But yeah, so they all came out of the same wrestling school because it was they're all from the like New York area, from the Long Island area, and that school is in Long Island. And I heard that Chris Statlander was a stunt woman who didn't really know what wrestling was until one of her friends was like, "Hey, you should do this." And she went to Create-A-Pro, and apparently her like first homework was like go watch a video of wrestling moves. And bam, now here she is.
Yeah.
Like,
that's crazy.
Insane to me. That she's like this good, this amazing.
Yeah.
Her and her
that's like the
best friend.
The what are they called? Grab the thought out of the air. I gotta get it. It's coming to me. The pipeline of being a like stunt person to wrestling, I would think would be like a very like sensical pipeline, you know?
There is a guy that I know. He like was posting about him doing stunt training. Funnily enough, the Darby Allin, this guy, Darby Allin. Yeah. There's a joke among the fans that Darby Allin has a death wish, because he just does the craziest stunts for wrestling that everyone's like, "Are you okay?" He's literally taking time off from wrestling right now to go climb Mount Everest. Like,
bro,
he's insane.
People who climb Mount Everest are like insane to me.
Yeah, he's crazy.
There's like a whole like there's so many dead bodies on that freaking mountain, man.
Yeah, I know he also has told so that backstage interviewer that does amazing work. She's like one of the best in the business. She's also married to Jon Moxley, the crazy man.
Oh, I remember this woman. Okay.
Yeah. Her.
I'm locked in. I'm in.
She does this interview show too on YouTube, and she was talking to him about it, and he was like, I do crazy stuff because like it doesn't matter how many belts I've had, I'll just be another name in the line of the belts. But how cool would it be to say I was the first wrestler to wrestle in space? I was like, I understand the mindset. I understand the mindset. Do crazy stuff so that you can go, well, I was the first person to do that. He like,
that's crazy.
Insting's last match. So the ring is up, elevated off the ground, right?
Yeah.
Like decently. Like it comes up to like here on these dudes. And these dudes are usually pretty big. Like at least 6 foot.
Gotcha.
Like it's a tall situation. They have steps to get up there. Darby Allin jumped off of a ladder to the ground through a pane of glass that was resting on some folding chairs. Through this pane of glass. And walked away from it. Kept wrestling.
Dude. How do you not get the wind knocked out of you?
He was doing stunt training with a different guy who was like actually training to be a stuntman. He just wanted to come do it because he thought it seemed cool.
Nice.
But the other guy is he's actually been getting a lot of press recently. He usually gets a lot of press in Pride Month because he is an openly gay wrestler. Anthony Bowens. He is
gay. Anyway.
No, so there was a he actually got one of the, I think it was the first positive he's gay chance in wrestling.
Yay!
Because there was his group was feuding with another group, and they came out, and one of the girls who is crazy, I'm gonna need to send you stuff of her. I love her. She had a little tiny beef with Mercedes Moné and had a little Mercedes Moné puppet that she was talking to.
That's so good.
She can sing. She's a really good ventriloquist. She can play guitar. She can act. She's really, I don't know why she's in wrestling.
She's more than a triple threat.
She's insanely talented. I don't know why she's doing wrestling. But she was singing, and she came up to him and was singing about how into him she is, and how hot she is, and how like her and him are so hot they would have hot children together and stuff. And he goes, I know you're not talking to me. And she was like, yeah, of course I am. And he was like, lady, I don't know how much clearer I can get with this. I'm gay. And then the entire crowd went crazy and we started chanting, he's gay, he's gay, he's gay. It was beautiful. It was amazing. Love that. It was so fun to watch. So.
Love that.
I love it. I love it.
Wild.
Wrestling, that's my favorite thing about wrestling, is that even when it is really serious, it is so unserious.
Yeah.
Like, there was, I'm gonna have to see if I can find this clip for you too. They have a tournament, at the end of the year, and it goes so that the, final pay-per-view of the year, World's End, is the, like, finals for it, where it determines who gets a belt. And the 2023 was the first year they did it. And there's 2 brackets. Whoever wins in each bracket, for this one at least, whoever wins in each bracket will fight each other. And it's round robin tournament. So it's like whoever wins the round robin of this bracket and the round robin of this bracket will fight each other at the pay-per-view for the belt. And it turned out to be Jon Moxley versus a guy named Eddie Kingston. And Eddie Kingston is Jon Moxley's best friend. Like, best friend.
Cute.
So they're fighting. Eddie Kingston ends up winning the belt, and it's a really, like, beautiful thing, because he's like, I'm just glad that I got to be, because his entire storyline for the bracket was that he was trying to prove himself to a different wrestler who was like, you're just a bum. Like, you're nothing. Why are you here? You every time you win a match, it's because you get lucky. So he, beats everybody, absolutely goes off on Bryan Danielson, who is one of the most loved wrestlers in the world. Everybody loves him. He is literally one of the best. Goes off on him, and his stipulation was, if I win, you gotta shake my hand. Because Bryan Danielson didn't respect him. It was all about respect. He won Bryan Danielson's respect, and it was beautiful. And then he got to fight his best friend for the title. And he fought his best friend for the title. And it's really funny, because this match going into it, it's all about, like, I'm gonna be in there with a guy who I know is a fierce competitor because he's my best friend. I've seen him at his lowest. I've seen him at his highest. He's gonna give me hell, and I'm gonna try and beat him through it. It was beautiful. It was amazing. But during the match, at one point, they start fighting, and Eddie's just having fun with it because he gets to do his favorite thing with his favorite guy. So Eddie's having a great time, and at one point, Jon Moxley gets him pinned down on the ground outside of the ring, and Eddie just puts his arms up around him and kisses him.
Oh, cute.
And I was like, that's so silly. Even when it's serious, it's unserious.
I love that.
Like, it's so silly. So, I mean, I won't show it to you because I know you don't like blood, but one of my favorite images is the walking out of the first All in Wembley, which was their big, like, we're coming to places that aren't the US show.
We're going to Europe!
Yeah, it was the first time they'd ever been outside of North America, because they'd gone to Canada, because they have a bunch of Canadian wrestlers too. They gone to Canada, and they send wrestlers to Mexico all the time, because they also are partnered with a promotion down in Mexico.
Gotcha.
They go to All In Wembley, and best friends who are very unserious, as you know, as I've shown you, best friends are very unserious. They are unserious. They're part of a match called Stadium Stampede. That's essentially just, they can go anywhere within the confines of the stadium. At one point, there was a brawl at the concession stand. Like, they can go anywhere within the confines of the stadium. But they have to stay in the stadium. There's no disqualifications. They can use whatever they want. At one point, Orange Cassidy wraps his hand in a cloth, dips it in resin, and then dips it in a tub of glass, and then punches somebody.
Oh my god.
It was wild. It was insane. It was wild.
Crazy.
This is when, this was right, like, before the Continental, match where Eddie beat Jon Moxley. Eddie and Jon Moxley were on two different sides. They were having beef because, to put it in the simplest terms, Eddie doesn't like his ex-wife Claudio, and his current wife John Moxley is very good friends with his ex-wife Claudio.
Oh.
So, they were fighting. They were fighting because of that. And so it's really funny because one of the images for after the match is Eddie and Mox laying on a broken table that they had just both gone through, laying on each other, and just sitting there, middle fingers at each other. In each other's...
Cute. They should kiss.
Well, good news.
Good news. They did.
Multiple times. Like I said, wrestling is theater. Those guys kiss all the time. All the time. Oh my gosh. I once saw a match. It was John Moxley versus a guy named Dax Harwood. And Mox kissed Dax. And then Dax, like, almost immediately next move, kissed Mox. And I was like,
good.
Listen, I don't know why this is happening, but I'm happy about it.
Exactly.
Wrestling needs to be more.
When are they
more
just like gonna start
gay?
making out? You know, like on the like in the ring. Just start making out, my guy. And then everybody's like, "Well, it's time to leave," and then they bone right there. You know, kind of thing.
If that ain't wrestling, I don't know what is. So, yeah. But the image is best friends walking out all bloody together and leaning on each other, but like they just won the match, so they're all very happy and they like are walking out. They just won the match in front of like 80,000 fans. I don't know exactly what the numbers were, but I believe the main reported number was 80,000. Just won this crazy match.
So
yeah. Just won this crazy big match in front of like 80,000 people. And are bloody and leaning on each other. And these guys have known each other since... I know Trent and Chuck were tagging since 2013. And
oh my gosh.
Orange and Chuck had known each other at least since 2006. I know they lived together at one point. Like... yeah.
Wow.
So it was beautiful. But right before that, Trent's mom drove her minivan in. She does that.
Cute.
Like, Trent's mom is a major character in the Best Friends storylines. Her with her minivan. She drove her minivan in, and when they opened up the back seat, there were, like, baking sheets with, like, cookies and stuff on them. And so they take the baking sheets out, grab some cookies off, and dump the cookies, and start eating the cookies while they're bashing these dudes with the cookie trays. Just so good. At one point,
I love the fact that the mom is a character, though. My mom is also a character.
Yeah, she's during the Best Friends breakup storyline, she was there. They had to have her there because she's a character.
Yeah,
but like, because it was when they were going in for their best friend's hug. After they lost their match and got kicked out of the tag belts tournament. And Trent hit Orange in the face with his knee. And Chuck was just sitting there like...
Guys!
All like sad looking. Sad and confused. And Trent did not explain himself. Left. And left his mom there too. Because his mom was standing there, and she, like, tries to go, like, Trent, wait, and he just, like, looks at her and then leaves. And everyone's like, that's your mom, dude. That's your mom.
That's your mom.
At the end of the show, they show Stat running up to him. By the way, I think it's hilarious because, Best Friends are really, like, I'm going to say really bad about, but what I mean is, like, they do it all the time. Really bad about using each other's real names. Also with their ring names.
Gotcha.
So you might hear him called Chuck Taylor. You might hear him called Dustin. That's the same dude. They,
gotcha.
had an interview show on when they were running the indies together. They had an interview show, where they just together interviewed other wrestlers. I have seen multiple times Chuck Taylor be like, "Don't watch that. It's stupid. Don't watch it." I watch it all the time. I love it. It is stupid, but it gives me comfort.
But it's a fun time.
Yeah. It's just them getting drunk in hotel rooms and being like, "So, do you like sit or stand when you wipe after you've gone to the bathroom?" What? Anyways, they would do that show and they'd be like, "This is Dustin, I'm Greg, we're gonna interview this guy," kind of thing. And it was like, okay. So it was really funny watching Stat run after Trent and being like, Greg, what are you doing? That's your mom. What are you doing? So just hearing her yell Greg. That's
really good.
At him.
Greg.
Yeah. Greg.
That's so funny. It's like so funny hearing like their like names and then like
their government names.
Like government naming them and then like their like basically VTuber names. Like it's so funny like hearing them like
it's so weird. Like one of the best friends interviews, they were talking about I don't remember exactly what, but Orange Cassidy's real first name is James. And one of the guys in the room called him Hot Boy Jim. And I was like, what? Hot Boy Jim? They were trying to get him to take off his shirt. And they're like, come on, Hot Boy Jim.
I love that. That's so
it's
funny.
Also interesting to see how people change their names. Because, like, there's a wrestler named Wheeler Yuta. He used to be part of Best Friends, and then he joined the Blackpool Combat Club, and now he's part of the Death Riders. And he's part of the Death Riders, so it's like, come on, Wheeler, we can't take you anywhere. Yeah, he's a bad guy. He used to be a fun dude. Now he's a bad guy. But he still hangs out with the Best Friends, like, all the time. Like when you
can't play both sides, my guy.
No, it's so funny because when people see them out in public, there'll be so many times that I've seen people be like, I met Chuck Taylor, I met Orange Cassidy. And it's usually Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy, and Wheeler Yuta. Just all together.
Just all through. They're just hanging out. They're just dudes.
That's still your dad, dude. That's still your dad's. You might be like a protege of Bryan Danielson now, but like Chuck Taylor's still your dad.
That's your dad.
So that's your dad. So that's, I think, hilarious. I know his real first name is not Wheeler. It's something else. Mm-hmm. But I'm fairly certain Yuta is his real last name.
Nice.
Yeah. Like, and then there's like Adam Cole. Cole's not his real last name, but Adam is his real first name.
Weird.
Like, it's interesting to see.
What fun time.
And then you have people that are, like, completely different. Like, Trent Beretta. Yeah. His real name is, like, Greg Marashulo or something like that. Like, I probably
imagine going from Greg to Trent.
I know. Trent with a question mark, too. Trent with a question mark. But like, it's like drag names. It's like, have you seen those videos of, I think it's only one person actually that does it, that's like calling drag queens by their government names?
No.
And so they'll just like come up, it's like, usually it's like during drag con, and it'll just come up to a drag queen and call them by their like government first name.
Oh my god.
And that drag queen usually be like, excuse me, leave.
Whoa. Excuse me, bro.
I feel like with wrestlers, like, if I somehow went to a meet and greet and saw Chuck Taylor there, I could probably go, hey, Dustin, and he'd be like, yep, that's me.
That's me.
Like, not even be phased. To be fair, though, like, he did go by Dustin on the indies at one point. Let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about this story because it's so funny.
I'm ready. So, I'm strapped in.
This storyline. So there's another guy named Stokely Hathaway, that is a manager, valet. Usually, he doesn't usually wrestle, but he'll represent people and essentially just like stand outside the ring while they do their little matches, and he'll sit there and hype him up. At one point, he was Chris Statlander's valet and manager, whatever you want to call it. I think they might be the same thing, but I don't know the nuance enough. But and when he was trying to get Stat to join him, he would introduce her, and one of his introductions was that she's thicker than a Snicker. And I went, I mean, he ain't wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
like, yeah, okay. But this was, I don't even know if this was like a specific promotion or if it was just like they did this across, I don't know. But he decided that since the name Chuck Taylor wasn't trademarked as a wrestling name, he was going to trademark it. So he was Chuck Taylor trademark, like the little TM symbol. And they fought
like
to see who could keep the name. Yeah, yeah. They fought to see who could keep the name, and Chuck Taylor lost. So he started going by a bunch of different names.
Gotcha.
While Stokely Hathaway was using the Chuck Taylor name.
Gotcha.
Some selection of these names. One of them was Scoot Tatum.
Beautiful. 10 out of 10.
I believe he used Hardwood Rich Mahogany. Was one of them.
I like that one. Why did he keep that one? I love like that one.
He had a bunch of crazy ones, and then he's also got a video, I'll have to find it, of unused names that he has that are great. But after that, he just decided to start going by Dustin. So he was just Dustin. And then I don't know exactly how that resolved, but I do know he got his name back in the end.
Yeah.
But
that's nice.
But I think it's hilarious that they just like fought over this name, and then he just had to be like, I guess I gotta go by a different name. Start trying things out.
I just gotta be different now. I don't know. Why did he keep the mahogany one? I like that one.
He was also, this is how we do it.
Wow.
Like good ones, like really stupid ones.
Took me a while to like figure it out. I can't wait for like the edit of this video just to like have like a pause for me to be yeah. That one's really good. I like that one too.
Yeah, like he's got some good, there's like no gimmicks needed Steve the Samurai is one of his unused ones. Oh gosh, my brain blanked, but I'm gonna send you the video that has a bunch of them because they're pretty good.
Wow,
they're really stupid. They're really fun.
Do you question? This is so off topic. But like, kind of is. Do you
have a wrestling persona? Yes, I do.
Well, that was not what I was gonna ask, but you, like your online persona for like lasagna, you know, was there other iterations of it? Because mine for Joy-Fish, there were so many iterations of it.
I mean,
for a while,
lasagna has always been lasagna. Like that's always. I've had other ones. My Xbox gamer tag right now is still the same one that I picked out when I was 9 years old.
Yeah,
which is it's very embarrassing. It's very stupid. It's Monkeys Rule, but both words spelled wrong. So intentionally spelled wrong. It was MUNKEYSROOL. Monkeys Rule.
Nice.
And then I also had Taco Zero Ninja going on around the internet. So if anybody on like Gaia Online or Quizilla remembers Taco Zero Ninja, that's a girl.
Not Gaia Online.
Gaia Online, baby.
I had a couple, cause my favorite princess, is Princess Kita from Atlantis. It's my favorite movie of all time. So I went by Princess Kita like on like everything for a while. It was like my original Roblox that is now banned because of inactivity. And then I went by like some very cringy like K-pop names for a while that we'll not get into because it uses my real name. And then I shouldn't say like my real name because Joy is a part of my name. Because it is my middle name, but whatever. But
like how Lysa's my middle name. It's understandable.
Yeah. Middle name gang.
Middle name gang.
Let me get out the fin. I'm stuck. Middle name gang.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But yeah, no, there were a couple before Joy-Fish too. Because I was going through this thing with Z, like thinking about trying to rebrand myself kind of things, you know. So I gotta find that paper because there was like a whole paper of me just like trying to figure it out. Yeah. Anyway, you can continue with your list.
Since I did bring it up, I do have a wrestling Sona. I did make up a wrestling Sona. It is anytime that we get a wrestling game, it is the character. Is the character I have to make. Her name is Liz Mayhem. Her gear is always I always make her with long hair that is green with blue on the tips. She has blue and black gear that on the butt says Mayhem.
Nice.
I know the WWE games have little knee pads that look like shark mouths, and so I have those on her all the time.
Cute.
And give her little tattoos and everything. She's great. But my in my head, because you can't really do this part that well in the games unless you have it on PC, so you can mod it. But I don't have it on PC. We have it on Xbox. But in my head, she comes out to like pop punk music as her stuff. Right now it's been Dead on Arrival by Fall Out Boy. It's either that one or it's Body Bag by Hit the Lights. Those are the two songs. That's her like her face and heel in wrestling. You have these things. There's baby faces, and those are the good guys, and heels, and those are the bad guys.
Gotcha.
Dead on Arrival is her baby face music, and Body Bag is her heel music. In my opinion, that's what I'm thinking in my head. I like how I'm saying all this like allegedly. She's not a real person. She's my son.
Allegedly, but no, she is a real person.
She's real. She's me if I didn't have a heart condition and went into wrestling school. But
she's me if I wasn't disabled.
Yeah. No, I one time fell in the house and my heart rate sped up. And I couldn't get to slow down for like 15 minutes. So, you know, I don't think wrestling's for me. But there's that, and then her finishing move is moonsaults, split-legged moonsault. Moonsaults are basically just like a pretty little backflip. Split-legged one is where you go to get up on the top rope, but instead of standing up at the top, you kind of like bounce off the ropes, like do the splits so that your legs hit the ropes and bounce off, and do a moonsault that way.
Oh, cool.
Split-legged moonsault called the Total Mayhem. And I have been toying with the idea of what her signature move is, because there's the signature move that you do that's like got a name that everyone's like, oh, that's like something they do all the time. But then they also have the finisher that's like, they use this move to end the match. If you see them use this move, the match is probably about to end. Or at least it's their like, it's their big guns kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, when Adam Cole hits a Panama Sunrise, you know the match is about to be coming to a close because he's putting it all out there.
Mm-hmm.
If Orange Cassidy hits a beach break, is probably not going to be the end. I mean, he could end it with a beach break, but the orange punch is more likely, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's
gotcha.
That's the vibes there.
Heard, chef. I'm comprehending. I'm locked in.
I'm still trying to figure that out. I will let me give you some of my favorite move names that I've ever heard.
Gotcha.
One of them
I would love to hear.
For Trisha Dora. She is a
That's a drag queen name.
Yeah. She is a wrestler part of this group called the Infantry, which were just 3 African American wrestlers who were military people before they became wrestlers. She her finisher is lariat, which is like a clothesline, but you move your arm.
Sick.
So it's a lariat, and she calls it the Lariat Tubman.
Nice.
I love that thing. It's so good.
That one's a good name. That's a good name. I'll flip
Chuck
her applaud.
Yeah. Chuck Taylor's 2 finishers are there's one where he essentially puts his foot on your face, grabs your arm, and then he falls so that he pulls you into his foot.
Nice.
And that one's called a soul food. And then he does this thing where he
that one's so good. Great job.
It's so good. He grabs you and then kind of hoists you up in the air, and while he does that, he flips you upside down and then drops both of you, so he drops you on your head while he hits the ground.
Nice.
Too. Like, he sits down.
What a great time.
Drop you on your head. And he calls that one an awful waffle.
Yep.
It's
another
beautiful.
Applause
from
the fish waffle. In the corner.
I know I told you Alien Stat had the Big Bang Theory and the Area 451.
Yeah.
Trent has this move where he kind of like puts you on his back, grabs your legs from behind, and then drops down to his knees so your head hits the ground between his calves. And he calls that one the crunchy.
Yeah, it's pretty crunchy.
I don't know if he still calls it the crunchy. Back in WWE, it was called the Dude Buster. do be busting dudes, I guess.
Busting dudes. You ever be busting dudes, bro?
Oh, you'll enjoy this one. Kenny Omega's finisher is a pile driver where he grabs you and I think he like grabs you over one leg specifically. And then pile drives you. I'm have to find a video of it and send it to you because it's pretty impressive.
Gotcha.
But he calls that one the one-winged angel.
Oh, Sephi. Daddy Sephi.
Sephiroth.
Sephiroth.
Danhausen does this move where he kind of tosses you up in the air, and then when you come back down, he makes sure that you come down with I think it's your neck on his knee.
Oh. Dang.
He calls it, well, because so this move is used by a couple different wrestlers. Yeah. One of them, Sammy Guevara, uses it. It's either the neck or the back. I don't remember. Sammy Guevara uses it, calls it the go to hell.
Nice.
CM Punk, controversial opinion. I don't like CM Punk. But I don't mind him today. Yeah, I don't mind him that much as like a dude, but as a wrestling performer, not a huge fan. But his version of that is called the go to sleep, and Danhausen's
like Jeff
version,
the Killer.
He Jeff that kills you. Danhausen's version is called the Good Nighthausen because Danhausen has to have everything as Hausen.
Nice.
That is a wrestler that I have fallen off of. Like hardcore, I've fallen off of him. He was the guy that made me like start wrestling. start watching wrestling. I was like, oh, this is cool.
Oh my God, you started wrestling? Congrats.
I started doing it. I was like, this is a funky little dude. What's up with that? Started watching it.
Yeah.
And then I just have not been interested in anything that he's doing recently, and I don't know why. I'm just not. I don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes, like, your first thing, you just, like, you fall off of it, and you keep moving on to find better things, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I don't listen to Big Bang anymore.
He was part of Best Friends. He was part of Best Friends for, like, 2 seconds, and that introduced me to Best Friends, and then I was like, oh, I'm set. I found my people. I will say, the thing that got me to, like, actually be like, okay. I don't know if you remember this trend on TikTok that was, the Taylor Swift Wildest Dreams bridge that was girls like awakening, watching their like awakening or whatever. That moment for wrestling was first big show I watched was AEW Revolution 2023. That's the March show. 2023 is when I started.
Oh my gosh, it's almost your WrestleVersary.
Oh, it's almost there, March 5th, I believe.
Oh my gosh, like right after my birthday, like next week. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy. But the main event for that was, I believe, MJF's first title defense. After he won the belt off of Jon Moxley. And it was a 60-minute Iron Man match with Bryan Danielson. Context. Bryan Danielson, probably the best wrestler alive right now.
Gotcha.
And he just retired. He retired in November, I think. I think it was November. Whenever Jon Moxley got the belt back, it was because they murdered Bryan Danielson.
Gotcha.
They put a plastic bag on his head. Like, that was his friend. That was his friends. Nobody knew this was gonna happen. To a friend? Then they put a plastic bag on his head, and Jon Moxley said, "This is mine, thanks." And we all went, ah. So, and that led to the chaos.
I want them to stop, like being mean to their friends, man.
I know, man. It's so mean. It's so rude. But yeah, there was Bryan Danielson, and then we've talked about MJF. MJF is insane. Like, the man understands wrestling. The man understands wrestling to, like, the minutia. Like, he knows all of it. He gets it. He was doing his first title defense. 60-minute Iron Man match means as many pins as you can get within 60 minutes. The match does not stop when somebody gets pinned. They just keep going to see how many more they can get. 60-minute Iron Man match. Match goes by. It's a bloody match. Like, they're pulling out everything against each other. Weapons, all of it. Like, it's crazy. They get to the 60 minutes and it's a draw. And in that case, it would be that the champion retains. But one of the commentators stands up and says, I just got word from Tony Khan, the CEO. Just got word from Tony Khan. This is not the end. We are going to keep going until somebody wins. This is sudden death now. During that time in between, the medics had come out to, like, kind of help people, or help the wrestlers. MJF had a tank of oxygen that they were giving to him. So they say, okay, you gotta keep fighting. So they start fighting. And MJF rolls out of the ring. Rolls out of the ring. Bryan Danielson kind of crawls his way to the other side, looks down, and when he looks down, MJF takes that tank of oxygen, bashes him in the head with it, gets back in the ring, and pins him, and wins the match, wins his first title defense. And that match had me sitting there going, I was to use LGBT terms. I was gagged, man. I was absolutely like my wig was snatched. I was gagged. Say? I was absolutely just like I was shook. The drama of it all. I was like, this is wrestling. My friend, who runs the YouTube channel no, it's not Inroads, it's PhantomIchiban now. He renamed it to PhantomIchiban.
Ooh.
Go check him out.
Shout out.
But he had been trying to get me to watch wrestling for years. He got into it in 2016 and was like trying to get everybody into it with him. And but he was doing it in the most like passive way too, so it wasn't like annoying. It was very just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch WrestleMania tonight if you want to come over. Like he invited me over to watch some. He watched for his birthday he put on WrestleMania in the like theater room at our college. I remember for a pay-per-view he was like, there's a pay-per-view on tonight if you would like to come over and watch, and I was like, sure, why not? So I went and watched the pay-per-view with him. It was something I was not very interested in, but one thing did stick with me, and that was the Bobby Roode's entrance music. Glorious Domination. Fantastic song. Amazing song. So good. He fought Shinsuke Nakamura, and Shinsuke Nakamura, I think he lost because I think Bobby Roode retained the belt that night, but Shinsuke Nakamura is still wrestling and still one of the best in WWE. Also, the women's match was Asuka, who is a like veteran of a WWE at this point. She's like one of the big names. Everyone knows Asuka. And Ember Moon, who is not called Ember Moon anymore because she left WWE. She's now a part of AEW Ring of Honor, and she goes by Athena now, and she is currently the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, and she's the longest reigning at like 2.5 years at this point. Like she's been on for a while. She's been doing it for a while. But I thought that was fun. But he finally got me in, and I was like, you could have been showing me this stuff the entire time and you didn't. And I could have been watching AEW from start, because AEW only started. This company turned 6 years old on the 1st. Whoa. And it's so young. And it's wild to me how good it is, how fun it is. Yeah. And I know I'm probably gonna get flamed in the comments for liking AEW. I don't care. I literally do not care. AEW is my favorite. I don't watch WWE because there's not enough wrestling in WWE for me. AEW does this beautiful thing where they wrestle and they tell a story in the ring with the wrestling. And I love it. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Like, they have so many little things that's just like the way that you fight can like further your story that's going on. It was beautiful. It's amazing. I love it so much. I do watch, there's a different company called TNA that they've got a partnership with WWE right now. It seems like they might get eaten by WWE, and I don't want them to. No. But whatever. I think it's funny because I feel like there's a few wrestlers that got kicked out of WWE, and they were like, well, TNA will take me. I'll go to TNA. And now TNA is working with WWE, and I'm like, I wonder if you're just like, oh, I'm back in the same place. They're gonna kick me out again. Because there's I think he's the current world champion for TNA. Don't quote me on that. Nick Nemeth. He used to be Dolph Ziggler in WWE. And so they released him. They fired him. And then he did a couple indie things, and then he went to TNA. And I'm like, I wonder if he's like, I'm back in the building I'm back again. Here. So, I don't know. That's funny. Joe Hendry is a TNA guy. No, Joe Hendry might be guy. No, that's LA Knight. We love LA Knight. Girl. Joe Hendry is the say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
That guy.
Yeah. You want to know what's fun is that he does parody songs and that are like his promos. So that's like him bashing other wrestlers in kayfabe.
Nice.
Are parody songs.
Nice.
Like he did one somewhat recently and it was really fun because the promo was him sitting in the ring with why did my camera freeze on that frame? Him sitting in the ring with his guitar singing this parody. And it's a parody of Higher by Creed. I don't remember exactly. I don't remember exactly who he's singing it to, but he's sitting there going, "Can you please get fired?" And it's so really good. It's so good. I love.
Speaking of getting fired, we are so overtime.
We're so overtime. I'm so sorry.
Overtime. It is so okay. I get it. It's the YapCast. It's understandable.
I do a lot of talking, and when it's about wrestling, I do a lot of talking.
Did we cover things? Cover majority of your list?
Yeah, actually, we did.
Oh, sick.
Because I got to talk about Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander. And I talked about my favorite matches, and I talked about Mystery Wrestling. One more match that I have to talk about from Mystery Wrestling.
Heard, Chef.
And it was, like I said, Mystery Wrestling, you don't know any of the matches beforehand. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. This match was, I don't remember the girl's name, and I feel really bad that I don't remember her name. She did really good in the match. But the other guy was Cecil Nix. Mm-hmm. And it was a pillow fight. It was very fun. She came out with a teddy bear. At one point, he drop kicks the teddy bear out of the ring, and then somebody dressed up turned out to be a guy who has beef with Cecil Nix. His name is London Lightning. London Lightning came out from the back dressed up as a teddy bear to beat up Cecil Nix for punting the teddy bear. Nice. There was two refs because the first ref was out there and he determined that if you can fit it in a pillowcase, if you can fit a mattress cover over or like a sheet over it, then it's fair game. So they put sheets on tables and were like putting each other through tables, and it was fine because there was a sheet on it. He put a chair in a pillowcase and smacked her with it because it was in a pillowcase, therefore it's a pillow. Because of the previous Mystery Wrestling, there was an all refs match, and one of the refs stole $5 from another ref. So in this match, another ref came in, beat him up, and took his $5 back. And then he reffed the rest of the match. And he determined that just because there's a pillowcase on it does not mean it's a pillow.
Yeah.
It was such a fun match. It was one of the most fun matches I've ever seen. If you can find any clips of the pillow fight from Mystery Wrestling 8, I highly recommend it. So good. So funny. This is why I love independent wrestling, is because they can do the crazy things like that. And it's just fine. Because you're not trying to get TV views. You're just trying to get people to come sit and watch your show.
Yeah.
So good.
Fun.
So good.
How fun.
That was the last one I wanted to talk about, so we're good.
I hope you liked the wrestling episode.
We
might have more wrestling episodes in the future. Or it's just part of Lysa's small talk part of the beginning of the episode. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I had a good time. I had a good time learning. I learned a lot today. Really happy with it. Now I can actually like properly converse with you and know who people are.
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited about.
I didn't even talk about Timeless Tony Storm.
Well, that's why we have to have maybe a part 2. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll have to look into it.
Cool. Yeah. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.